Hello, my name's Robert Anderson. I'm an electrical engineer by trade, but today I'm doing a little idiot engineering on my Reverie 8i bed. Because it's an 8i, it is a hugger bed, which means when you raise the head, the bed slides backwards so that it doesn't pull you away from your nightstand and your light source if you're reading. Um, I learned in college when I was learning to be an engineer that you should never make assumptions. Well, I did just that and I screwed up. What I originally did is I ran a 2x4 across the front of the bed. Anybody that has a Reverie already knows what I'm talking about. There's a bumper that goes clear around the bed that's got probably, I don't know, 3/8 inch, I don't know if it's MDF or what it is in the back. And it's covered in foam and then wrapped in fabric. So you don't bump your shins or whatever when you come around. I made the gross assumption that that would stay in place and only the platform would move. I should have checked that first. No, the whole bed moved, and when I had the hooks from the footboard bracket attached, the bed started to move back as I raised the head, and it had nowhere to go but up and popped out of the footboard. So let me show you that real quick. I already took it apart, but I can sort of show you what I did. 1 second. Okay, there's the front of it, and you can see where I had drilled holes. And I had a 2x4 going clear across the entire thing. And on that 2x4, I mounted that bracket that just hooks into the footboard. It was fairly sturdy. I was pretty proud of myself. What I did with that 2x4 is I clamped it down as far as it would go so it would become rigid, so I wouldn't just be sitting on that foam and just bouncing. And I was happy with it, and I even raised the foot just to make sure the foot raising didn't interfere, and it was fine. I thought everything was just hunky-dory, but later on, a couple evenings later, I raised the head and pop, the footboard came off. So now I'm doing something a bit different. Instead of going from the front, I'm going on the side. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm clamping the 2x4 to smash that foam down to make it more rigid. And then I'm going to run some screws through there to hold it in place. I'll do that on both sides. Later on, what I'm going to do, and I will show you that when I get it, is I'm going to put a couple drawer slides. They're 14-inch drawer slides. They hold about 250 pounds each. So they're very rigid up and down. They should offer no play, which is what I want with that footboard because you don't want that thing flopping around. So I'm going to do that, put some drawer slides on it, mount a piece of wood to the end of the drawer slides, mount the bracket to the piece of wood and the bracket to the footboard. So when the bed starts to move backwards, hopefully the footboard will stay in place. Now let me show you. When I hit the head up, you will see that footboard, or you will not footboard, but you will see the bed start to slide back. It's not very fast, so there you can sort of see the movement. I'm not moving the camera, trust me. But that was enough to pop that footboard off. Yeah, it's really going now. It seems like the higher the obliquity of the head, the faster it moves. I'll bring it back down to flat. Love the bed itself, but the wife loves this headboard, and it's a nice footboard. I gotta admit, it looks pretty nice with it on there. So I'd kind of like to get it working for her. Hopefully, this solution will work. So I'll come back on when I get the drawer slides on. Okay, these are the drawer slides I went with. They're 14 inches long, and they're kind of built to be real sturdy. They got no play in them at all. You can move it back and forth and it doesn't move, which is what I want because I don't want that footboard to be flopping. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it right here to this piece of wood and kind of like this. So hopefully as the bed moves, that'll extend and allow that footboard, which is very heavy, I don't think it'll move, to stay in place. So let me get that on there and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, now I got the drawer slides on, and I decided to double them up just to make sure I don't have any any play up here so the footboard doesn't wobble. And you see they move fairly freely. So this should work okay as long as I get a stable connection here. What I'm going to do here on the end is I cut this board. It's only 4 inches long, and I'm going to put that up against here, and we'll screw it to the drawer slides like so. It's kind of on the wrong side, but it's just the way it's got to be, the way they're built. So we'll do that. Then we can attach that footboard bracket over there to that piece of wood, and that should allow it to move freely. All right, let's get the other side on and get the wood on, and we'll get the brackets together. Okay, now you can see I got the wood on the brackets. It moves quite easily. No binding, nothing. So I think once we get that bracket on there and get the headboard on there, I think we're going to be good. Got to get the other side in there first, though. But as you can see, got a little bit of movement this way because, you know, those things flex a little bit. But in that direction, I don't care because the hooks and the slots of the headboard are going to take care of that. What I cared about is movement this way. And as you can see, that ain't going anywhere. So that should hopefully prevent that footboard from flopping around as this bed moves. Let's get the other side done, and then we'll get the brackets done. Okay, we got the other side on, and it moves just as well as the other one. So a little bit of play there because the fabric is bunched up a little bit in the front, but that's not going to matter. Now it's time to do the brackets. So what I did is these brackets just have hooks on them. That's all they are. And that's why they were popping out when the bed was moving and it was fixed. So we just pop those in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the footboard over to the bed, and I'm just going to mark where they go. That seems to be a little easier than measuring, and I'll make sure that I get everything right. And hopefully all will go well. Okay, final touches. I got the brackets in, mounted to that piece of wood, as you can see right here. I measured off the floor with an end. It's about 7 inches up with this bracket. So I got it in there, and then I had to tilt the thing to get on there. Still has a little bit of play in it, as you can see, but it's not horrible. It may be livable. Otherwise, I might have to put some angle on the back and try to brace it to the legs. So it hasn't been an easy project to figure out. Took a lot to go wrong, but let me find the remote, and I will show you that it indeed works as advertised. Oh, let me get down here. I get too old for this. Okay, you want to lift ahead. You'll hear it moving, and you'll see the drawer slides go. See it expanding out. And headboard's not moving at all. You can see I got the head up pretty high. So now I'm gonna flatten it back out. Just drop it down. And she's done. Mates right back up. Works as advertised. I just wish it didn't have as much play as it does, but it does have a little bit. I thought the 2 drawer slides would have been enough to hold it, but I think we can live with that. I guess I'll find out when I talk to the wife. I mean the boss. You guys know what I mean. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a Reverie bed and you have a wife wanting a footboard on there, I hope this helps you in some way. Happy trails.